Monday is the beginning of the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. And I think this is really interesting because it will be taking place in downtown Manhattan. US District Court Judge Alison Nathan, as I say, it begins on Monday. The judge is really firm and has warned the liars. I just gonna say the liars instead of the lawyers. Oh, interesting faux pas there. So Maxwell is being tried on 6 counts, including conspiracy to transport underage girls to engage in illegal sexual activity. This indictment cites 4 victims who prosecutors say Maxwell groomed between 1994 and 2004, when the women were minors, some as young as 14. And prosecutors say, they allege that Maxwell befriended the girls, took them shopping, to the movies, and then delivered them to Epstein to be abused. Obviously, Maxwell denies all charges. I've not committed any crimes, she said at a pre-trial hearing at the beginning of November. Her lawyers have attacked the government's case on several fronts. In pre-trial motions, they argue that Maxwell is being unfairly punished. And what we've seen over the last week, and I warned this a year and a half ago, and that when she was first arrested, I said it's only going to be a matter of time before our media starts creating sympathy for Ghislaine Maxwell. Morning, Soapy. Yes, morning, Soapy with Tank. You're not late, only well, you're earlier than Rachel, put it that way. I just lost my point there. Anyway, so basically, yes, the media, their sympathy. And I knew that this was coming. And so what we've seen over the last week in the run-up to the trial is a seeping out of sympathy from Ghislaine Maxwell's allies within British mainstream legacy media. And that includes the Daily Mail and, interestingly, Rachel Johnson, Boris Johnson's younger sister, who I had the misfortune of meeting last week, and we clashed horribly. That is a story for another time. Good morning, Angel Realm. Beautiful to you as well. And Rachel Johnson, on the day that I met her, without realizing, she published a piece in The Spectator in which she was saying she feels such sympathy for Ghislaine Maxwell, yada, 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 yada. I mean, where's the sympathy for the alleged victims, right? Where is the sympathy for them? There's a number of things which are now evolving to do with this trial. Virginia Roberts-Giuffre, she's going to be absent. And so what's happened is Prince Andrew, who's not even part of that, is saying that the fact that she's going to be absent proves that she is not a credible witness, which is, interesting. And obviously, Virginia has obviously claimed that she was groomed and abused by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell as a 17-year-old. She's not going to be testifying, as I say. And so that's quite interesting. The other thing that I found interesting, and I think very problematic, and I think gives us some indication of what will be taking place, and that is the judge has agreed to allow Ghislaine Maxwell to call a false memories expert to testify at trial. Now, these false memory experts, and I'm not saying that people don't have false memories, it is a recognized psychological phenomenon, but they use these people rather too much for my liking when it comes to trials to do with child abuse. Because obviously what they want to be able to prove is that these things didn't happen, that it's false memory syndrome. And I do have great concerns about them being able to use this, because the idea is that these people's memories have become distorted over time. Lawyers for Maxwell, they've said that they plan to call American psychologist Elizabeth Loftus to testify about false memories of sexual abuse. And the idea is that people may describe having been abused, but they are deliberately lying. So I think we can already see how Maxwell is intending to pitch this. And oftentimes they'll use these experts with children who were abused very young. Well, these were older. These were like sort of starting ages of 14 that we know of. It's not to say there aren't younger people involved, but in this trial, it's the youngest age is 14. I should also point out, and this will be no surprise to anybody, that Loftus previously represented Harvey Weinstein, and also real estate heir Robert Durst, both of whom were actually convicted. So I think that's interesting. As I say, Maxwell, who's 59, she's pleaded not guilty to 8 counts of sex trafficking and other crimes. And prosecutors have said Maxwell encouraged girls to give Epstein sexualized massages. And as we know, Epstein, according to the tabloids, died by suicide at 66 in 2009 in a Manhattan jail cell while awaiting trial. And as we also know, Epstein didn't kill himself.